Hey there, Regina Anley here, and it is time for Tips and Tricks Tuesday. Do you feel like a fraud? Do you feel like an imposter? There's a lot of people who talk about fake gurus and all of these people that are out there that uh, think they know what they're doing, but they really don't know what they're doing. And I gotta tell you, there are some of those out there. And then there's a whole bunch of us out here who think we might be like that, and we're really not. It's called imposter syndrome. And it's one of the biggest limiting beliefs that can hold you back from your success. Now, what is a limiting belief? A limiting belief is literally just a belief that you have in your head that might be holding you back. And most of these limiting beliefs came from like a long, long, long time ago. They came from when you were a kid, or they could have been generational. So it was something that you picked up from your parents because they picked it up from their parents, and so on and so on and so on. And so you just learn to be a certain way, believe in something certain that, well, it isn't certain. It's actually not true for you. So when you think about imposter syndrome, if that sounds like you, if you're ever feeling like a fraud, you're ever feeling like, well, I don't know why I really got into this business because why would anybody buy from me? I'm not sure that I'm the right person for them. And you ever have any of that self doubt, that lack of self confidence? It's the fear of being found out. Hey, they're going to find out that I'm not really as good as, I say that I am. If you have that, and you're not, and you know your stuff, here's the secret to getting rid of those limiting beliefs. The first step is acknowledging it. When you feel that fear, you feel that, what if they find out that I'm not as good as I think? What if, am I a fraud? I don't know. Am I? Those are ingrained beliefs that come from the limiting belief that you're just not good enough. Maybe I'm not smart enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not this. I'm not that. Whenever you have those words, those thoughts in your heads that maybe I'm not, fill in the blank, right? Stop and challenge yourself. This is the secret. The secret to getting rid of a limiting belief is acknowledgement, acknowledging that it is actually a limiting belief. Where did it come from? Is it really true for you? Now, one big exercise that I love to do, and I do it myself on a regular basis, and I have a notebook that I have mine in, and I just continually add to it. It's called the exercise of 100 accomplishments. Take out a journal, take out a notebook, and start listing accomplishments that you've had over your life, personal, professional, all of your accomplishments. Now, I'll tell you, the first time I did this exercise, and I was told to write down 100 accomplishments, I was like, wow, I haven't had 100 accomplishments in my life, because my head instantly went to like major, big accomplishments. You have literally had thousands, maybe even millions of accomplishments during your lifetime. Think about it. When you were a baby, you started to crawl, you learned to walk, you learned to talk, you did all this stuff, you learned to read, you learned to write. Those are all accomplishments that you've had over your life. You've proved to yourself over and over again that you can continually learn new things and do new stuff and be able to move forward with your life. So when you think about that imposter syndrome, especially the imposter one, think back over your life and all of those accomplishments and make that 100 list of your accomplishments. And I mean, for some for some people, honestly, getting out of bed this morning was a huge accomplishment. So when you think about what an accomplishment is literally, it's literally you accomplishing anything. It could be tiny, it could be huge. You could have gotten a degree, you could have gotten married, you could have gone to college, you could have done all kinds of different things. For me, I run my obstacle races. The first time I ran an obstacle race, that was a major accomplishment for me. And every time I run one, it's another accomplishment because I've completed a new one. So add to your list and keep adding to your list. And you'll find in your mind, this is a psychological trick. When you have that limiting belief of imposter, of fraud, or what if they find me out, you start going back on that list and you hear and learn about all of those things that you've done over your lifetime to date, and you start reading that. Guess what? it tells your subconscious, wait a minute, I've got this. That belief is so not true. I've actually done all of this stuff. Maybe you worked in corporate world and you did a bunch of stuff in corporate world. Maybe you've had a business before the business you're in now. Maybe you've never had a business before. You're just starting out. You're wondering, can I even do this? And so you've gone to some classes or you've listened to some coaches or you've done some stuff. You've done some research. That's all accomplishments towards your goal. So when you think about it, what we're doing is basically resetting your brain to say, hey, that old limiting belief of I'm a fraud, I'm not smart enough, I'm not good enough, that all hits your confidence level too. So when you start saying I'm not good enough and all kind of stuff, your self-confidence nosedives, right? So just by building this list of 100 accomplishments, your confidence goes up because now you start looking back on, wait a minute, I can do this stuff. I've done a ton of stuff over my life. And what you do to create this list is literally you just start making the list. And by the way, hand write the list out. Journal, notebook, whatever you want to write it in, but just make sure you hand write it out. We've talked about this before. When you hand write something out, you're using both hemispheres of your brain. When you type stuff in on the computer, you're only using one hemisphere at the logical side. When you are handwriting, you're also using the creative side. And especially when you're thinking about your 100 accomplishments, you want that creative side activated, right? And sit down, maybe do like 5 minutes, set a timer for 5 minutes, and just for 5 minutes, write out as many as you can come up with. When the timer goes off, put it aside. You might be at 10, you might be at 20, you might be at 30, I don't know. Wherever you are, just put it away. What you've done is you've activated your brain. So now I guarantee you going throughout the rest of your day, you're going to be like, oh yeah, and then there was this. Oh yeah, and then there was this. Oh my God, I forgot. I did this too. I didn't even think of that one because your brain is now activated and it's going, what other accomplishments did I have? And so it's adding more to the list. And then go back and add those onto your list and keep adding to that list. And anytime you start feeling like a fraud, an imposter, you're wondering, that fear of, what if they find me out? Go back to that list and remind yourself of all of these things that you've accomplished. You are unique. You have unique experiences, unique trainings, whether you learn something through a life experience or you learn something through formal training, it doesn't matter. Over your lifetime, you've learned a lot of stuff. Now, honestly, we're going to put this right on the table. If you're in a business and you have really no background in it, you haven't had any life experiences and stuff like that, yeah, you're a fake guru. You might be found out because it's not what you got. Most people, though, don't get into business for that. They get into business because they've had some major life experience. They've gone through something where they learned something and they know that they can help other people who are in their position where they were. So they know they can help them because they've experienced it. That's all the experience you need. When you're going into business, if you have a process that helps the next person, really, that's all your clients want. Your clients want, can you provide me the result I'm looking for? Well, you know what? If you've lived it and you've gone through it and you found tips and tricks along the way to make it easier, they want to know that and they will pay you to coach them, to teach them that, to make their journey easier. So that's knowledge that you don't have to have a formal college degree or certifications behind you in order to go into business. You just have to have some kind of experience in whatever it is that you're offering, whatever the result is that you're offering your clients. So write out that list of the 100 accomplishments. Keep it in front of you. And anytime you're feeling a little, I'm not sure about this, go back and start reading that list and look at it and see exactly how accomplished you are. And that will build your confidence and it will set you on the right path to success. Now, I do have an offer for you today because every month I offer 2 free breakthrough sessions. All of these limiting beliefs, all of the stuff that's going on, it's all this chatter, the stuff that's in our head. And sometimes you can't necessarily get it out by yourself. A breakthrough session is actually created just for that. It's not a sales call. There's actually no sales talk at all. I don't talk about any programs. I don't talk about anything unless you ask me about it. I don't even mention it unless you ask me. So it's all about you having a breakthrough in some area. It could be personal, it could be professional. And I only have 2 slots open. So if you're interested, just put breakthrough in the comments below, and I'll be happy to send you the calendar link so that you can schedule your breakthrough, because I just want to make sure that you are in the right frame of mind, that you have that mindset for success so that you can reach all of your goals. That's what I have for you today. We will see you next week on Tips and Tricks Tuesday. Bye for now.